with their feet on the ground. It's PJ, Davis, and Schultz.
Then we have Ty Scott, Cam Peterson, who I think is going to be right there today with Kayla just outside of him on row 2. Gerardo, really impressive so far from Max. Teague Hobbs, Max Van, Aiden Steed, Corey Alexander, and Josh Hayes back there on row 4. Then we're going to have Dave Anthony, Torrin Collins, Chase Black, Enriquez De Silva, and Owen Williams just outside on row 6 there. Shane Maggs, Omen, Cowan, Zaragoza, Reese, and Jeff Bean will round out our field. You know, with all the stuff that was said post-race yesterday and all that.
When those lights go out, we're racing. Away we go. And a good launch, looked like from all riders on the front row. Just under the Mission Bridge they go down into turn number 2. And it's going to be PJ Jacobson around the outside over Blake Davis and the number 1 of Schultz.
PJ's going to run out a little bit. It's going to allow Blake Davis to try to go up underneath him, which he does, stands PJ up. But PJ was determined to lead down into turn 2, which he did. But he just ran a little bit wide. Blake took advantage of it. So now Blake to the front early. To your point earlier, Greg, Campy is a little bit better start up to 6th.
Yeah, 6th place, and looks like he's in a good position to attack. Kayla Yakov right in front of him, the 19. So the 22, up the hill we go. Cameron Peterson advances to 5th spot on the red bike. So for Cameron Peterson, he's losing a bit of ground as these 3 are starting to streak away. But that 4th place rider, is that Maxi Gerardo in the mix?
Yeah, Max, man, it's really impressive on that Altus R9 there, doing such a fine job. And see Campy, Josh Hayes also with a great start. Josh told me this morning that they found a little something. He has been telling me, Greg, that they're not as far off as it looks. He's looking for a feel. He's trying to find a feel. And this morning when I talked to him, he seemed a little bit more confident. So we'll see if that's going to be sustainable as the tires get a little older. PJ taking a look down the inside of Blake here, not going to make that work. And he's not he didn't compromise his exit rate because of new tires. He's able to still get that bike turned and get out of there. She makes a little bit of work there for herself at the start, but she gets by Josh. Now she's got that leading 6 riders ahead of her that she's going to be able to try to go chase down 5 riders. Sorry, Greg.
Snead in a really good position to learn from Josh Hayes. Tied with Cameron Bobie in all-time wins. And now PJ Jacobson up the hill with the lead on that Rahal Ducati Moto with Expel yellow machine. Into the corkscrew they go.
Cam Peterson makes the move on Max Gerard. So the 45 in a much better spot, Greg. He'll be able to take care of his front tire a little bit more.
But PJ so deep on the brakes. Oh, and Corey Alexander. Unfortunately, yeah, for the 23, the Rahal Ducati Moto with roller die informing Panigale V2 in our slowest corner on the track. Down for this one, trying to pick it up. Back to the battle up front. Impressive by Maxi Gerardo on the 41. Out of Uruguay on that Altus Motorsports YZF R9. So we got 3 R9s and 2 Panigale V2s in the mix. And then Kayla Yakov just back there as Cameron Peterson goes 127.3. Alexander doesn't look like he's able to get that thing fired back up.
Well, Tyler Scott unfortunately had to bring the bike down pit lane, shut off the engine. I asked him quickly what it was that happened. He said just some engine issues at this point in the race. So just unfortunate disappointment. You know, he's hoping to move up in the championship point standings a little bit. Had to settle for a 9th place finish yesterday. And today it's going to be one that he'd like to forget, guys.
His teammate Matthew Schultz with the number 1 plate behind him. Cameron Peterson,
Blake Davis goes to the front.
He wasn't taking any of that inside tight line from PJ anymore. So a nice move from the 22. He'll be credited with that lap at 27 flat. Gabriel De Silva on the 74 down. Here's another look at the pass. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to pull it off, and he just goes around the outside of him.
Rode around the outside, and that's just because PJ doesn't want to have somebody go down underneath him.
He goes fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, PJ's just protecting a little bit down on the inside of 11. As you can see, the 27 flat, and it looks like we have another rider down. That's going to be turn 10, Greg. But yeah, the front runners, 27 flat also for Matthew Schultz, 7-1 for Cam.
But Schultz did say post-race that he's got to keep an eye on his teammate because Blake Davis could start gaining chunks of points back on the rest of this field and find himself in this championship. PJ with a little bit of movement on the rear end on acceleration. That gives Cameron Peterson the number 45 on that Celtic Economy Lube and Tire Warhorse HSBK Racing Ducati. An opportunity down into turn 2. PJ super strong there.
You've got somebody in behind you that's not behind you anymore. As you see, Cam Peterson goes down the inside of PJ Jacobson in the corkscrew. This guy here's got pace. He sees those two R9s getting away at the front, and he wants to get himself back up there with Schultz and Blake Davis.
Oh, there's Aiden Sneed on that MP13 MV Augusta. He's gotten around Josh Hayes. That was several corners ago. And so Aiden Sneed right now in 7th place, but there is the legend on the BPR Racing Yamaha R9, Josh Hayes. Number 4 on the brakes. No room. Sneed able to get it to the apex and get on the gas.
They put a fresh set of Dunlops on, obviously, but it was a mental change for Blake Davis after he got back to the hauler after that victory yesterday. Chavi said, look, you can go out there and win. Don't make any mistakes, but also don't let anybody force you into any mistakes as well. And once he had that little bit of extra confidence, he said Blake can go out and win the rest of them.
They use that on Schultz's bike. Yep. He's able to have room and get after it.
Yeah, you saw there, Greg. Turn 2, Blake Davis looked like he lost the front end a little bit right in the middle of that corner. You saw his outside foot. He's just kind of following. What will inspire Matt to pass Blake is if he sees this gap get to under 1 second between him and Cam Peterson. Cam Peterson is still only 1.1 back down to turn 10.
In sector number 2, Blake Davis went the fastest sector 2 of his time, trying to break the riders behind him, but this is just a bit of an accordion. Look how good Schultz is down through rainy turn 10 into turn 11.
2 of the Rahal bikes in that top 5. And here comes Matthew, starting to have more of a look. Now he's got +0 on his board for sure, as Cam Peterson is officially a part of this lead trio. And the other thing you got to think about too right now is Cam just kind of sitting there. We still got 6-7 laps to go. Is he being a little bit patient right now, not using up his tires, waiting for these two to engage? If anything happens between Matthew and Blake, as you see Blake again,
added 6 pounds to this motorcycle in the balancing of next generation Supersport. And I asked Matthew Schultz about that. The one thing that Cameron Peterson does not want to be involved in is making a mistake and basically affecting the championship battle for the number 1. So it's got to be calculated. Great job by the lap traffic to pull on over and let racing continue, as it looked like the 45 is going to try to make a move. So there goes Cameron Peterson. Nice move at the top of the corkscrew. He'll take over second spot and foil the plans of Matthew Schultz.
You said it. I mean, that's exactly right. Matthew just gets shot up out of the seat through raining. Now let's see how quickly. Matthew might want to try to go right back at Cam. He looks behind him, sees nobody there. Matthew might be just literally thinking championship at this moment, because I think it's going to be hard work for him, as the white flag should be shown this time through.
Good drive though by Davis on the front straightaway.
Really solid. And we know how good he is here through turns 2 and 3. But Cam, now he's right up behind him. He's going to run it a little bit wide. He's going to square that Ducati up.
But Davis able to carry his corner speed, not open the door. No move up the inside here. That leaves the door open for the possibility of turn 4. It's happened before here.
I think it could happen in turn 5. Or the thing is, the way Blake goes into the corkscrew, it's going to be difficult for Cam to do that to Blake. And you can see, look how defensive Blake has got. That's racecraft right there, Greg. That is like letting these guys know early, you're not coming down the inside of me going down into turn 5. So again, he sacrificed a little on the entry, uses up exit, and then sacrifices a little bit here into 6. Now he's got to get up this hill. This might be where Cam tries it. As soon as Blake tilts the bike to the right, Cam's going to make a straight line. And look at that, doesn't allow it.
Wow.
Really good racecraft here from Blake Davis. Really, really good.
Down the hill they go, into rainy. Opportunities are running out in the final lap. Motovation Supersport race number 2 here at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. You can cover the top 3 with a blanket. Into the final corner we go. Blake Davis is going to try to park it right on the apex of the corner. He leaves the door open, but no one's there to take advantage. He rolls through the corner. On the gas he goes, and to the line. What a last lap by Blake Davis. And Cameron Peterson to the line. takes second place over Matthew Schultz, who will gain a couple of points over his teammate. These two have been going at it all race long. Is Aiden Steen going to send it? He said he was. Into the final corner, doors open on the brakes.
Wow!
Aiden Steen to Josh Hayes, wheel in the air. Is Hayes going to have a motor to get by him? They nearly touch, and here it comes for 7th place, and Aiden Steen will take another 7th place finish for the 17-year-olds. That was good.
Wow.
PJ won't be going home super happy, especially after being pole position and taking 3rd and 4th this weekend, I imagine. Kaylee Yakov, though, his teammate from Rahal Ducati, Moto Expel, she did a lot better today, up in 5th. It was great to see her have that better start and then equally come climbing through a little bit.
Yeah, and early on in the race, she was in the shot with the leaders, so just a great job. Kayla able to step up today and have a little better race. She was really disappointed with that race yesterday, and she comes out today quite a bit quicker than she was yesterday. And just a good solid run for Kayla and try to get a little momentum back going.
Indeed. PJ, though, 5.7 seconds off of the leader. Any idea what was missing from him today? There was a lot of energy expended off of the track, but what do you think was missing on it?
I just think didn't have the pace the other guys had. I'm not sure if there was something with the bike, but just was a little bit off compared to the guys in front of him.
Here's a look at the results. 0.3 seconds to margin of victory. Schultz right there in 4th, and the difference between 3rd and 4th in our championship is 3 points. So and PJ still leading the way with 195 points, and Matthew Schultz now only 3 back as we head into our next event, August 1 and 3.